Hey, what's up, good people? Welcome to another episode of Brandon's Comedy Bomb Show. I am your host, Brandon Phillips, where I bring you your favorite comedians to tell their experience of their most memorable moment bombing on stage. Today, I have none other than London Brown. You see him on Ballers as Fat Reggie. Y'all give it up for Mr. London Brown. Give it up for y'all. Yo.
We back. What's good, brother?
Yo, London, what's up, brother?
Everything is everything, brother.
Thank you for coming on the show, man. I appreciate you.
I like that. Let's talk about that background, though. That background.
I had to give people what it feels like to be on a stage somewhat. This is the closest I can get.
Absolutely, man. That's dope, man. I can respect that, bro. Respect that.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. Thank you. I always said, did your introduction, people know you as Reggie from Ballers, but just a little something to jump into it, man. Let's get right into it. Where are you from?
I'm from South Central Los Angeles, man, and I'm currently here, and I'm just trying to lay low like everybody else during this quarantine thing, man. So I'm keeping cool, man. I'm keeping cool, bro.
Oh, good. Okay, all right. And when did you? I'll say this: How long have you been doing stand-up comedy for?
I've been doing stand-up now, I think 10 years now. I think I just hit 10 years this year, something like that. And so I think I just hit 9 to 10 years this year.
Okay,
absolutely, bro.
Dope. Okay, cool. And you started doing stand-up in LA. Was that your first time doing stand-up?
Yeah, I started doing stand-up in LA. I remember in church I used to do they used to have like a talent night, and I would do like a couple impersonations of people in the church kind of thing. And then that was kind of like, as far as I wanted to do it, but I wasn't really doing it. I just wanted to be on stage.
Right.
I remember I used to sell the Los Angeles Times newspaper. They had a talent show, and they told me I should do some jokes for the talent show. I did a couple jokes there, put it to the side, still wasn't sure about doing it.
Right.
And then I was a teacher at one point, and they had a fundraiser, and I think like the assistant principal signed me up or something. And low key, something that you may not even know, but me and Chinadu used to teach at the same school on the low.
Oh yeah, Chinadu. I got him coming on the show as well. So dope.
Right. So anyway, they had a talent show. I did a couple jokes for that, and then that's when I decided, I think I need to really actually do this, because I felt the same gratification that I got from doing theater. So that was my start right here.
Okay, dope. All right, so let's just hop right into it, brother. Let's just hop right into it. So, what is your most memorable moment bombing on stage?
Bombing on stage. I think I don't have a bunch of them, but the two performances that kind of come to mind. There was two. One was at the Improv. And it wasn't like bombing, but it was just basically, when I think of bomb, I think about shows that I just forced the material. But I'll give you this one. I remember it was like me, Brandon, Lewis. It was a couple of us.
Right.
We went to go do the J spot in Inglewood, J. Anthony Brown spot, for those listening. And I guess this club, no shade to them, but the host, not the club, the host would run the light and do all kinds. They would go very vociferous about their whole hosting situation. Right. So I get on stage. I'm at the end of the night, and I'm doing my material, and I just noticed that they're just tired and they're just not going for it.
Right.
So I said, no problem. I'm gonna hit them with my Denzel. My Denzel crushed it. I said, I'm about to go into the Denzel.
You gotta go to the go-tos.
I'm 10 minutes in, and it's getting hot. Brother, it's getting hot. I can feel the sweat on my back. I said, man, I gotta do something. I said, all right, cool. You ain't laughing at none of this other stuff? No problem. Going to the Denzel. Go to my back pocket.
Right.
With the Denzel. Boom. it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. And I was like,
You're like,
and it was like, so? And I was like, I said, maybe I didn't get it the first time. I said, oh, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. I did head shake, I did the lip quiver, I did the whole thing. I did the claps, I guarantee it. I pulled out all the stops.
right.
When I tell you they was not going for it.
Crickets.
I was like, dang. And at this point, it's the end of the night, the lights even kind of on. And I remember just, you just got to do that tap out. You got to just say, all right, man, look, man, y'all be cool. Find me on, we don't care what we find you. I said, all right, y'all.
It's like, okay, how many people were in the audience?
Dude, at this time, people started to file out. The audience even kind of got a little lighter. People was tired. It wasn't even a packed room, but it was enough for a good night to leave with if you wanted to try some new material for this audience, it was enough to get a response.
Right.
But it was done, bro. They had tapped out. I don't know how many comics have been up because I got to the club late. All I know was that they was done. They didn't want to hear no more jokes. They didn't care about no jokes. This before callers. This before I know no TV. Nobody cared about none of that stuff.
Right.
All that was, sir, we late. And you got to think, the J Spot is not like other clubs. The J Spot, we talking about people who actually got 9-to-5 jobs. Right. We talking about parents, grandfathers. This club is really like a 40s and up black club. And it wasn't before, bro.
And that's a huge difference. There's, as comedians, we know there's a difference between a black club and other clubs.
It's a difference, man. That's why people, they don't understand when it comes to this comedy thing, man. It's so many levels that it's so many different things, factors that play into what the audience is. Like sometimes people think, oh, because you black, you work a black club, they're easy. Nah, sometimes black clubs, you got to work a little harder sometimes.
Yeah.
Or you feel like, some people feel like, if you're black and you work a white club, that's the easy. Ain't no easy situation. Like sometimes when we work white clubs, if you want to call them that, when we work these clubs, white clubs meaning like the majority is white or is
right
sort of thing.
Yep.
That's another thing. So sometimes like black clubs, when they laugh, whoa, woo, they laugh, physical slap each other. Yep. White clubs, the white audience, they'll laugh and be like, and they really listening. And even though they may not give you the physical response in the club, at the end of the night, them be the main ones looking for your website, looking for your merchandise, whatever it is.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a lot of different factors that go into how we do at a club, man. So, yeah, that's my story. It was.
I always say, I'm like, black people laugh with their soul, and white people, I feel like they laugh with their mind.
I know. And they be laughing. They really like you.
Do, yeah.
They will follow you and support you and look for and buy you stuff. But physically, they not in the club laugh. They're not gonna be laughing with you. They don't really give as much. You know what I mean? Like I've done it. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to connect this. But I've done a couple spots where even on the road, I've done Edmonton, Canada, and that whole audience, it was a sold out show, all white. They stood up, they clapped, they was involved. So sometimes, I'm saying that to say that sometimes culturally, you get love maybe someplace else, right. or depending on where you are in the city, like in the smaller states or unpopular states, if you will, that may not get big names. You come over there and they treat you like a star. They laugh at all your stuff. It just depends, bro.
It depends. It just depends. Yeah.
No. That was a rough one. They wasn't laughing. They didn't care about no dinners. They didn't care about my clothes. They didn't care about none of that.
I'm going to the back pocket. I know this one gonna kill him.
I know this gonna do it. They didn't care. All I remember it just being hot.
Right.
I remember one time at the Improv, same thing. I'm trying to force the jokes. And I give you this one. One time I was at the Comedy Union. At the Comedy Union. And I'm like, ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-doom-bat. I was like, jazz, fingers and everything.
Yeah.
I just asked them, I think I was hosting this particular night. And I just asked him, I say, yo, I just got out the material. What's good? What's happening? And the dude said, man, it's hot in here. I said, well, what that mean? Man, we ain't trying to laugh because if we laugh, we gonna get hot. So funny, we just ain't trying to be hot. We got no control over it. They didn't want to laugh because it was hot. It had nothing to do with my material.
Right. They just didn't feel like sweating. Yo, oh my God. Oh, yo, that's crazy. Wow. So going back to your J spot. Was this early on in your career as a comedian?
This is early on. It's early on.
How long did it take you to get back up on stage after that? Like, how long did it take you to get back on the horse?
I'll give you this one. Something that I got. I think this was from Skills Hudson. Shout out to Skills Hudson, man, from Chicago.
Yeah.
One of the that he said to me, I think it was from him. Was one of those things where, to answer your question, I try to get up the very next day, bro. I realized this. Anytime if we ever have a quote unquote a bad set, it's different now after being a little seasoned. You realize that sometimes a bad night is not necessarily. It's not because people don't laugh.
Right.
For me, even though I don't have to have people laugh, but when I try new material, even if people don't laugh, that's still a good night for me because I got outside of my comfort zone to work the jokes. So I don't look at bombing the same way because we all got jokes that we can go to that we know ideally that'll hit. But it's like, do you want to grow or you want to be funny that night for the audience? You want to save your ego. And so he told me, he said, man, anytime you have a bad set, the best thing to do is get up immediately because that's going to help. You're gonna mess around and forget about that bad set when you get up and just get up again and just work it out and find another thing. Yeah. I try not to stay in that slump, bro. I definitely try not to stay. So I think I got up maybe the next night, or the next available night I could get up was like that week.
Wow. Okay, cool. Dope, man. All right. Well, yo, that is hilarious. It's one thing to have that, to have a set bomb, but when you even go in your back pocket to reach for that joke that you're gonna win them back and close strong, and that one though,
when I tell you it was not
L to the chest.
They didn't. When I tell you they didn't care about whatever they wasn't laughing, bro. And you can feel the tap out energy because you're looking for clothes, you're looking for something. Sometimes you gotta the thing about it is I realize this, and I'll let you go with this, but when we having a bad set, don't try to save it. It's better just to acknowledge it and go out. Don't try to keep holding on because then you get the audience feeling that awkward thing of like, oh gosh, she's trying to make us laugh. Just let them know it ain't working tonight.
Right.
Acknowledge the L and live in that. That's better than trying to save yourself. Don't even save yourself. Forget it. It ain't happening.
Wow. Well, dope, man. Yo, that is hilarious. Yo, thank you so much for coming on. Before we get out of here, I always close with a couple questions for the comedians. So my first question is this. What important comic lesson would you tell your younger self if you could go back in time?
Something I would tell my younger comic self, I would say, one, I wish I would have even started earlier. Just forget about it. Just jump into it. And I would say, forget fear, man. Just I forget fear and just go for it. I think sometimes we be in our minds about trying the material. Sometimes we don't like it. And as you sent me the clip, Dave Chappelle's 846, and when I watch him, and honestly, I mean, he's just dope. But beyond that, when I watched him, I was like, yo, that's some of the same stuff that I was saying. But what's cool about it is I can just appreciate him presenting on stage the way that he did, and it's just dope just to watch him work. I'm not expecting him to be funny at this point, but it's so dope, even though he was, but even though he wasn't trying to be, but just
the fear,
him speaking his truth and having a point of view and sticking to it.
Yeah.
I only aspire. I watch some of his specials because we know Chappelle from back in the day, but who he is now,
yeah,
it's like
Yeah.
Just when you watch him,
that growth.
you like he is the last. I feel like he's like one of the last just cut dry, like no gimmicks,
Right.
no antics, just pure joke, point of view, writing, crafted like.
Yep.
I like, dang, like what? Cause I can't front, like I wasn't like this super Dave Chappelle fan back in the day, but you couldn't have got the Dave Chappelle you got now
without
unless back in the day. But without that, so it's just like. And I know you appreciate what you do when you sent that clip. Thank you for sending the clip. Because I just remember watching, and I was just like, it's just dope that it's just like, you get to a point where it don't even matter if people funny or not. I just want to hear what your point of view is. Only fire that people care to one day listen. They just say, listen, we don't care if you're funny or not, London. We just want to hear your perspective. Yeah. So I would tell myself not to get off into that, but I would tell myself not to be afraid. And start early. I would have just started sooner, man.
I feel you on that. All right. So last question is, if you had to leave one final piece of advice for the next generation of comics, what would it be?
Man, I would say make sure, this is what I really would say to anybody trying to find their way in with anything, is just make sure your heart is in it. Make sure it's what you're supposed to do. Because if people get into this for money, you work a bunch of free gigs, bars, bar mitzvahs, strip clubs, churches. We work a whole bunch of free stuff. Right. But don't worry about the money. That's the main thing I would tell cats. Like, man, don't do this for the money because you're gonna be upset because the money it take a minute for the money. But if you can really just do it for the love of it, it'll change your life if it's what you're supposed to do. Because otherwise, if you're doing it, but it's not, if you're doing this for the wrong motives, it's not really what's in your heart, you're gonna get burnt out with it. You're gonna get discouraged. Clubs ain't gonna book you. Ain't no pay. People misspell your name on the flyers. They pronounce your name when they. I had one time. I had a host. I was opening for Chris Tucker at the time, and Chris got some local cat, and the guy said, "Hey man, next coming to the stage. Hey, what's your name again, brother? We in a theater." I was like, "What's my name?" I was like, "Oh, like, all right, well, listen, man, y'all gonna recognize this. Come on out, man. Come on out." It was just, and this was like, I think like the DJ, the disrespect that you get in doing stand up. Right. You gotta make sure that you love this.
Like, you ain't gotta say my credits and all that, but at least get my name right, brother.
They don't, man. It's a lot of disrespect in this game, but I think I would just again encourage people, just make sure your heart is really in it, and don't do it. Funny will come if you do it for the love of it.
Absolutely, I agree. Well, yo, London, I can't thank you enough, brother, for coming on the show, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Before we get out of here, tell the people where they can find you on social media and what you got coming up next to look out for.
Yo, I'm at Real London Brown. I might change that because I feel like my account is being too monitored. So I'll let y'all know. But as of now, I'm at Real London Brown. And catch me on American Soul on BT, I believe like June 20-something. I'm playing legendary Bootsy Collins on there. So it's totally different.
Woo!
A little different.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you, Brandon. Thank you.
Yo, come on, man. You already know. Yo, thank you, El, for coming through, man. I appreciate you hopping on Brandon's Comedy Bomb Show, brother.
Absolutely.